damn bit. Hi guys.
Hi.
So we are at a restaurant about to eat, but as you can see by the title of the video, we are going to talk about the 7 things that basically we didn't know and we made a mistake of, but now we know. And we are doing the best that we can to fix it. Our food is coming. Ooh, does mine come with cheese on it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good. So here goes nothing. First mistake that we made,
Big one.
one big one that we made was we could have saved more money before we even launched. But I don't know if you guys ever have like a deadline and a date. You want to get to that date, okay? You want to make sure that you honor that date that you set.
You also want to be flexible
Yes.
because life don't go as you plan it. So,
As you know.
so if it's great to give yourself like a timetable to make sure you're not like, lollygagging and just like pushing stuff. But at the same time, if something doesn't fit, or if you feel like you're compromising something just to fit a date,
Yep.
move the date back.
Yep.
Move the date back.
Thank you.
Can I get the strawberry lemonade, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
It's got butter on it already. I was like, where's the butter? But it's right there. So yeah, so definitely like Tiffany said, be flexible because you want to make sure that it's almost perfect.
Right.
So we definitely could have saved more money with buying more inventory.
Yeah, like, ooh, that mushrooms.
I do. I need some hot sauce.
So you definitely, just make sure you're not like, obviously you're gonna make some compromises. You're gonna have to, but if it's something that you know isn't gonna sit well with you later,
Yes.
just push the date back. It's fine. Nobody's really watching that hard but you. To be perfectly honest,
Yes.
you know what I mean. Like,
But you're so hard on yourself,
Yes.
and you definitely want to honor what you promised yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you also at the same time want to make sure that it comes out the way you want it.
I mean, so bad.
I know.
I want to make sure that we didn't start with enough inventory. We didn't. That's
what I'm-
definitely a mistake. Even though we were online and we wanted to finance it ourselves, which is why our inventory was so low, I definitely would go back and see if we could try to get a loan or something from the beginning, in addition to stuff that we saved already.
Yeah.
And the main reason why we did is because we just didn't want that excessive overhead. We wanted to keep things as low cost as possible, but at the end of the day, especially when it comes to business, when you try to keep things as low as possible, especially if you're a small business, sometimes you have to make certain sacrifices, or sometimes you're giving up something that you want. Thank you.
Welcome. Everything okay?
Got some hot sauce.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're sacrificing things that you really want for your business to try to keep your costs low. So definitely, if I could go back, I would say let's apply to get a loan in addition to us saving, and not spend all of the loan, obviously, so we can make sure, but just to get us.
So you would have got a loan? You would have wanted it?
Yeah, because now we're trying to find one.
Yeah.
So
So we're
it's
trying to
like-
find more of a grant, but if we can't get a grant, we will probably have to
Right.
take out a loan. Yes.
I definitely would have started. That's definitely another mistake. Is we should have started researching
Searching
for
grants and stuff
sooner.
before. But although it seemed like the people who give these grants want you to be in business for some time,
That's true.
but I think what they want to see what you can do without us first. And if your business is somewhat of a success and people want it. But anyways, that's the first one, making sure that saving more upfront. Or getting a loan up front, whichever one. Just get enough money so that you can have enough inventory and enough for marketing, which is our next mistake.
Our second mistake was not learning enough about marketing before we really got started. It was to be completely transparent, marketing was very, very, very much on the back burner in the beginning. We was so focused on getting the app right, getting the right products and all that stuff, which is very, very important. But at the same time, even now, not enough people know about us. So I definitely, if I could go back, it's definitely something that I would make sure we put just as much focus on is marketing and making sure people know us, because our thing was just like, oh, once people hear about it, they want to, but it takes more than just hearing about it, because we want to be to the point where you think about us first, and that takes a lot of advertising, it takes a lot of marketing, it takes a lot of us being in people's face on a daily basis for us to be the first thing to think about. I'm sure there's even customers, now we've had a lot of repeat customers thankfully, but I'm sure there have been times where customers that we've had before that have thought about us after they have already ordered from somebody else or through somewhere else. So I definitely would go back and make sure we focus on the right ways to market and to get ourselves out there more, for sure.
Everything Tiffany said is correct. But that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get an app, because when people download your app, they have it in your phone. So those repeat customers go through their phone and they see our app, you know what I mean? But yes, marketing was definitely something we did not put a lot of effort in. And I wish we would have saved as much money as we did for inventory as we did for marketing. And that probably would have saved a lot, and we probably would have got more business if we had saved just the same amount, even as small as it was, saved the same amount for marketing as we did for inventory. So you heard it here first before you do anything. Now, if you have a brick and mortar, it may be a little easier, but you still want to market, because people have their own beauty supply stores that they like to go to, and then I just want to come to yours, unless you gotta, have a huge sale or something like that. But they're gonna go to the ones they know.
Go to what they're comfortable with.
Yep. So
I mean, and honestly, we put up with a lot of stuff when we go to beauty supply stores we comfortable with too. But you ain't hear that from me.
So yes, marketing. That's why they always say it like that, because it's very true. Market. So the third thing is, we've said this in a previous video, but I just wanted to reiterate. We should have launched the website with the app at the same time. The website is very important because it shows people who you are. And if you do it right, it gets you in way bigger places online and at the top of the list, and people search for beauty supply stuff all the time.
Which ties back into marketing and research. Because again, if you know how to, like Crystal was saying, if you know how to set up your website the right way and get all that SEO popping, you'll be good.
So definitely at website. But a lot of you are starting your own beauty supply stores online, so you probably won't have the app, you'll have a website. You definitely are gonna need money for marketing.
Yes.
As well as your inventory.
So many online beauty supply stores.
It's so many of them. And trust me, your little one is not gonna be at the top. Huge
The
beauty
people
supply
who
stores
have the money
to market
are
at the top of the page. Yes. Moving on to number 4. So I actually put this one on the list. It was in regards to wording. So like when you put yourself out there, we're bag beauty delivery, right? But when you market yourself, you kind of want to have like a tagline, or I don't even know if niche is the word, but you want to.
You catchy.
Yeah, something catchy, because bag beauty delivery, I think it's a very cute name. But then now we have to tell exactly what we do. And they're like, oh, you deliver, and it's like all these beauty supply stores online deliver. No, we are on demand. We deliver on demand, and when we first came out, we said 90 minutes or less, and people still had questions. But now with this age of on demand, with other food delivery companies, all that, they know what the on demand word means. So instead of coming out with 90 minutes or less, we should have came out with a better tagline. Now we use it. And people get it and people know what it is, but just for your business, make sure you have your wording correct so people actually know what it is that you're selling.
Because it's still, I mean, again, to us, it's very much like, duh. But
yes,
not everybody's going to get it. So definitely not only just, try to have a few different ideas, but like run it past different people.
Yes.
And like get their opinion on like, what's your first instinct or first take on when I say such and such? Like, what do you think about? and tweak it and go from there.
Because I put our logo up, our first logo,
Yeah, you did.
up in a group. And a couple of people.
Facebook group, mind you.
Yeah, Facebook group.
So that's why when she sent me the stuff, I'm like, okay, we're gonna take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Well, I put it up there.
Facebook.
And a couple of people got it. They was like, oh, beauty, something on the go or something somebody said. And then one guy said something totally outlandish. I'm like, is that what you got from that?
No.
But
No, he didn't.
all opinions matter. They don't. But just saying, ask folks.
They don't.
Ask people around you. Go to Facebook groups with your logo and things of that nature so you can get a second opinion on what it is you're putting out. Even the wording. I wish we would have did that.
Yeah, because we were just very much like, oh, people are gonna get it. They don't.
They don't get it.
People are touched.
But also, what we were doing is not, it's sort of new. It's not, everybody's not doing it.
Right.
So we had to be
People
a little bit more clear.
confused.
Yeah. You have to be more clear what you're selling, especially
Very clear.
doing it this way.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 5.
So for number 5,
No, I wish I did sausages and sausages. Okay, go ahead. I wish I got sausages, but it's so good.
so for number 5, we definitely should have learned more about business taxes and practices. I definitely wish this is something also that ties into budget, because getting the right people on your team costs money. So I definitely wish we would have taken more time in the beginning. Like, we definitely made sure we had our business licenses and our resale license and all that stuff. We had all that stuff in order, but on the back end when it came to taxes, we were very much like Crystal literally just was like, hey, why are you doing my taxes? Would you mind looking this over real quick? I know that's not what I came in here for, but can you help me out? So I definitely wish that we had looked more into like business tax laws and like even just the forms. Even if you just do your regular taxes, the forms can be real crazy. So imagine how extra they are for businesses, for small businesses in particular. That's literally why corporations hire lawyers and have them on retainer to do all that kind of stuff, because it's so much. So definitely wish we would have been able to preferably find someone to do it for us versus us taking the time to like research it, because I feel like that, I'm not saying we don't need to know it, but I also feel like we should be focusing on more important things versus learning how to do all that stuff that is only going to serve us a certain amount and just getting somebody else who can do it, which again ties on to budget. We have the money. All of this stuff is way easier. Just saying.
And when Tiffany speaks of people, because everybody doesn't start out with a whole bunch of money, get QuickBooks, have that stuff track it for you with your business account. Definitely have a business credit card or checking account. But have QuickBooks, track all that stuff for you, because it's going to be hard, especially when business is booming, to really track that if you're a one-person show, and we're 2 people and it's a lot.
Yeah,
so,
or even especially trying to like get that stuff set up after, like get it set up before you dive into it, because that stuff will fall through the cracks. It will.
Make it.
Because you'll just keep being like, I need to, and it's just like you don't find the time to actually get it set up.
Yeah, make it your business. Like, make that as important, like we said about marketing. Make that as important as buying inventory. Make that as important as marketing, because we all have to run into doing our taxes. I don't care who you are, and like Tiffany said, those business forms are a lot of money, and so I wanted to tie in here. Make sure you're saving as you go, because you may run into going through a pandemic. You may run into business not being, not booming. You want to run into having to do your taxes, which those forms, like Tiffany said, cost sometimes more than your taxes that you do by yourself. So saving money is very important, along with getting all the money and, spending it more on inventory. Make sure you save it. So moving on to number 6. So this one is just really simple. It's just basically tracking your time and your money. So there's an app called Toggle, and we discovered it way late in the game.
Months into it.
Yes. And
A friend of mine put me onto it. You definitely want to find, even if it's not Toggle, like we like, I mean, it's free, so of course we don't go with it, but it's also a really good system. But just something to track the time that you're spending in your business and the money you're investing in your business, because again, all that stuff will tie back into not just your taxes and stuff, but if later on down the line you want to get an investor, or if later on down the line you want to sell your business, all that stuff that you're tracking as far as what you're doing and how long it takes is valuable information that you can put into whatever, whether you want to sell it or look for an investor or whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, most of us believe that time is money. So you definitely want to track how much time you're putting into your business, and even like what you would pay yourself if you could afford to pay yourself. That also will help with figuring out, you know, a salary down the line, all those things. It's just really important to track all that stuff. It ties into a bunch of different things, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're just paying attention to, because sometimes you lose track of how much time you're really spending doing different things, especially when it comes to like admin stuff or like working on a website or whatever. You really can sit there for hours and not realize that you spent that much time. And if you're, you know, if someone was paying you, of course you would be paying very close attention to it. But, you know, again, if down the line, it's just really important to keep track of that type of stuff.
what she said. And number 7.
We saved the 2 big ones, like for the first
and the last one.
The 2 super big important.
So the 7th one is the app. Again, we wanted to portray ourselves as on demand, so we went with an app first. And the app that we have, it's cute. It does the job. People can order. The pictures are there. Everything's there. Well, not everything, but you can buy and become. It's very much it serves that purpose. Okay. But we wish we would have save more money. But also put more money into our app, to have it our way, to make it our way.
Because like Crystal said, it does what we need it to do, but on the back end, there are some things that we wish that it could do that it doesn't. That the company that we went with just doesn't have set up to work that way. Because honestly, the company that we went with, they're used to working with restaurants. They're not used to dealing with what we have going on.
We made it work.
Right.
We're probably the only company that's not a restaurant on that app.
Yeah. We made it work for what we needed it to work for. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is similar as far as logistic goes to a restaurant. You place your order and we bring it to you. Same thing, right? So logistically, it's very similar, pretty much the same. But when it comes to like tracking inventory and again things on the back end that we need to worry about, it doesn't do, because restaurants don't track inventory for their orders that they don't need to. So it's like a lot of things on the back end that we have to do ourselves manually that we wish was more automatic or automated, and just a lot of stuff on the back end that we have to go back over and do. And even, you know what else? Especially now that we have the website, we have to make them match up manually because they're not connected in any way. So, if we could go back, we definitely would basically just have somebody make an app for us.
Yep.
That's what we would have liked, because what we have is a mismatch of what we want and what we need, and we're just filling in the gaps ourselves.
Yep.
Versus it just being everything we want and need, and just being done. So if you do want an app, if you do want to have an app, I would suggest now, like, even though we like it, it's fine, but we are going to be in the process of changing that soon to something else that we actually really want. So if you can, again, you'll save yourself a lot of time, I feel like, and money, because, you know, we had to pay a monthly fee for our app. So all that money we were paying a monthly, we probably could have if we could have held on to and just had somebody build us an app.
Because most of those apps that are built, you pay a one-time fee. or you know, yeah. But now we're paying
like,
monthly.
Right, you're just paying Google and Android, Google and Apple every year or however long.
Yes, you do have to pay
be
that
on the platform,
right?
But you're not paying for the app on a recurring basis. So it's just like, I know you can't smell, but it's very disinfectant right now. So definitely, like, if you plan on having an app, make sure you invest in something that is going to, you know, you're not going to change for a long time.
For a long time, yep.
Because we're just at a year.
Yeah. Because we probably are paying more monthly than we. But it's the only way we can afford it right now.
Right.
So you gotta do what you gotta do, but just make sure the app, if you do develop one, that it has everything you need. So yes, guys, that was number 7. We appreciate all the support so far, and I hope you learned something from the mistakes that we've made, and hopefully you don't have to make the same ones before starting your business. But that's it, unless you have something.
So I had mentioned something about savings. Well, Crystal had mentioned about savings, putting money to the side. So I think we're going to delve a little bit deeper into that and do like a video on like kind of how we set up our savings and how we decide, you know, how much we want to save and all that good stuff, what we're saving for. I think we should do a video on that because I'm sure you guys are going to ask this question. So we're going to get right on that right before you ask. But yeah, that's it.
So we appreciate it, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.